EduFacts presents the nervous system. So, this is like my first video in a series on the nervous system that I'm planning to make. So, I won't be covering the entire nervous system, but I'll be covering some parts of it. So, let's start with subdivisions. The nervous system is divided into the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is made up of the brain and spinal cord. And the peripheral nervous system is subdivided into the somatic nervous system and the autonomic nervous system. So the somatic nervous system, it basically deals with voluntary movements. For example, if I was going to pick up a bottle of water, my somatic nervous system would help me do that. But things like breathing and heart rate, which I don't really control, the autonomic nervous system deals with that. And the autonomic nervous system is further divided into the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system deals with involuntary movements in times of stress. It can do things like increase heart rate, which help you cope with stress. And the parasympathetic nervous system, well, it deals with your body in its normal resting state. So, now we're going to be talking about a neuron. Neurons are the types of cell in your nervous system. They allow your nervous system to communicate with other parts of the body, and they connect the different parts of the nervous system. They basically allow messages to be passed throughout your body. So, here's the basic structure of a cell, of a neuron, I mean. So, first of all, we have the soma, or the cell body. In the middle of the soma, we have a nucleus. On the side of the soma, we have dendrites. And basically, dendrites bring information into a cell. And so they basically get information from other cells, and then the information comes in, and it's in the cell, okay? And so then we have the myelin sheath, which are these yellow things. We have the nodes of Ranvier, which are gaps in the myelin sheath. And basically this myelin sheath, it's covering axons. So these axons pass messages from one neuron to another neuron, and eventually to parts of your body like the brain and spinal cord. And so neurons are very important in your nervous system. So next, in this video, we're going to be talking about some major parts of the brain. Of course, I won't be able to cover everything in the brain in this one video because I could go on for a long time if I was going to talk about the brain. So, first we're going to be talking about the frontal lobe. The frontal lobe is this blue part, and it mainly controls problem solving, moving, and coordinating behavior. Like if I was going to do a math problem, my frontal lobe is going to help me do that. Now we have our temporal lobe. It's this green part. It's located on the bottom of these two lobes. And yeah, so the temporal lobe, it mainly controls auditory perception and speech. And the next lobe is the parietal lobe. It's this yellow thing on top of the temporal lobe. It mainly helps with sensory processing, attention, and language. And the last lobe, the occipital lobe, plays a very big role in processing visual information. Information from your eye directly goes to the occipital lobe, which then interprets all the data and allows you to see things. So basically, all the parts we talked about just now, all those four lobes, they make up the cerebrum, which is the largest part of your brain, and it accounts for 2/3 of the brain's mass. So now we're going to be talking about some other parts of the brain. So this part of the brain that's glowing is called the cerebellum. The cerebellum is vital in motor control. It can help with motor memory and coordination of movements and motor learning. So basically, when I'm a kid, when anyone's a kid, when we walk, it's pretty hard to, but after a lot of practice, we can just easily walk. That's because of the cerebellum. It learns that motor movement and it remembers it. So the next time you try to walk, you already know how to do it, and so it's very easy. So another major part, and the last major part we're going to be talking about in this video, is the brainstem. So the brainstem connects the spinal cord and the brain. It basically connects the brain to all the other parts of the body, and it helps with some involuntary responses like breathing and heart rate. It helps maintain those things partly. Of course, there's other parts of the brain which do that too. So, thank you for watching this video, and see you next time. Bye!